Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Today we're making fries. Join me. So, where are you watching from today? My name is Dreena. If you aren't familiar with my videos and it's popping up on your screen, and I've been plant-based for over 25 years and have written 6 cookbooks. And today I'm showing you how to make chickpea fries. So, have you made chickpea fries? I'm thinking if you haven't, that you probably haven't, and that's why you're watching the video. So chime in, let me know where you're watching from, what you're making today. I haven't had my nibble of chocolate, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I still have some of this delightful strawberries and cream nibble, so I'm going to have that. You know what, I forgot to put the link in the description, so I can add it after. I love these, the way they design these bars. They made them in like little tiny squares. So you can take off like a little snippet. Anyhow, let's talk about chickpea fries. Hello, Lydia from Montreal. Nice to have you. My oven's beeping. Hang on. Yeah, better open the oven so they don't brown anymore. Okay, I have a batch of chickpea fries in the oven, and these are from Dreena's Kind Kitchen. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm doing a giveaway for Dreena's Kind Kitchen. On the video, I have a giveaway giveaway winner to announce from last week from my bean-free burgers recipe. You guys love those. A lot of you went out and just made those burgers right away after the video, which is so fun. I love it when that happens. And if you haven't seen the video, then afterwards just go and see it's bean-free burgers. They're bistro burgers, really easy to make. And since doing that video, I didn't go live on this one, but I uploaded polenta fries because I was talking about those in my video, and I uploaded that little video to YouTube. It's like a 4 or 5 minute video showing you how to make those polenta fries. So easy. They are the easiest fries you'll ever make. I'm telling you, they're easier than these because the polenta is already made for you, like it's store-bought. And so it's so easy to make those little fries. These you have to make the chickpea mixture. But it works for me because I can't eat corn right now, can't have cornmeal in my food sensitivities, and I love potatoes, make potato fries all the time. But this is a nice option, right? Switch things up, and my kids love these, so let's get right to it. Okay, the recipe's in Dreena's Kind Kitchen. It's page 152. There they are. And so I'll tell you, if you have my snacks ebook, Plant Powered Snacks, I also have a chickpea fries recipe in that ebook. And they're sort of more of a basic flavored fry, I'd say. Like I don't season them up as much. These ones have a little kick from chipotle hot sauce and some other seasonings. So you can kind of go either way with them, right? I did a batch earlier and got them in the oven, and I didn't do the chipotle version. I did a different version, which I'll explain. But this one has more seasonings, and then you can serve them up with the sour cream from the book. Again, oil-free. All the recipes in Dreena's Kind Kitchen are oil-free, or really any dressing or dippy sauce in the book, because these fries go really well with things like creamy dips, right? Ketchup is nice too, but when you have chipotle and you have that kick of heat, it's nice to have sort of a creamy sauce with it. Like you could do my nut-free ranch and make it a little thicker. That's on my YouTube channel as well. Guacamole. I call it guacamole because it has secret kind of ingredients. It's not normal. And then in my dressings, I've got a smoky Caesar dressing. I have let me just see what else that would work as like a creamy dressing. Oh, the creamy house dressing. So there's lots of options there for you in the book. And also, I have recipes on my site, of course, too. And many of you already know my dressings ebook and the sauces in there. So let's get to it. So for this recipe, you need chickpea flour. And chickpea flour is just chickpeas, dried chickpeas, ground into a flour. That's all it is. So I put a couple of links in the description to both Amazon.com and Amazon.ca so that you can see what chickpea flour looks like. Order it online if you want. It's just dried chickpeas ground. And I don't grind them because dried chickpeas are really hard, right? So I feel like that's best left to people who make those things. Let them make it rather than put our blenders through, heck, trying to make chickpea flour. And it's not expensive at all because it goes a long way and it's not expensive. And I link to organic ones for you because I know a lot of people want organic. So I bought a humongous bag of chickpea flour, and then I just have it in a container like so. And I measure everything right into my saucepan because then we're just going to start cooking it. So we have a cup of one cup of chickpea flour. And I will give you all of the ingredients at the end. So we have a cup of chickpea flour. I need a whisk, so I'm just going to move over and get myself a whisk. And then we have dry seasonings, which are smoked paprika, ground cumin, some sea salt, and we have a little bit of nutritional yeast. So I'm going to grab that. You don't have to add the nutritional yeast if you don't want to. And if you don't, you could just add maybe another extra tablespoon of the chickpea flour just to kind of make up for the volume difference, but you don't need that much because chickpea flour is very thirsty. So if you use 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, you don't need 3 extra tablespoons of chickpea flour because chickpea flour absorbs a lot of moisture. So maybe go half tablespoon the most. So that's it. We add our dry ingredients and we've got the chickpea flour, some salt. I'm just going to double check I missed anything. Hang tight, guys. I lost my page. Oh, a little bit of turmeric. And the reason I add turmeric, it was only 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, but that's okay. They'll just be a little cheesier tasting. I had just a little turmeric for color, and you don't have to, but make them like a little more yellowy, but it's totally optional. And then we add the water. That's it. So we start with we're using 2 cups of water total. No, there was one other thing. A little bit of agar. So this is optional. Agar is the vegan substitute to gelatin, and it needs to be heated to set, right? It needs to be heated on like the stovetop. That's the only way I've ever used it, stovetop. And it's set sort of like gelatin. So I list it as an option. It helps the fries set up a little firmer, but it's totally an option. So if you don't have agar, you don't have to run out to the store and get it to make these. Okay. All right. So did I even add it? No, I just talked. I just talked and then put it back where it was. There you go. And it's just like about a half teaspoon. Agar is mostly used in desserts, vegan desserts. So like if you want to do a gel dessert, I've used it to make like lemon custard kind of fillings, that kind of thing. So now I'm starting to whisk in the water, and I don't have it over the heat yet. What I like to do is get 1 cup of the water in to begin, because that way you can work out any lumps, right? Work out any lumps in the mixture before adding more water. Because if you add too much water, like if you add all the water right away, then you do have a tendency to get more lumps and it's extra whisking. But when you do it half the water, it just makes it easier to combine it all. So, and then we add the extra cup of water. It's just 2 cups. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. And then I have to get this on the heat. So I'm going to do that and talk to you. So we're heating this over a medium heat. Let me just double check. Yeah, medium heat. And you want to bring it to like a slow, thick boil. So like it's a bubble, not a fast boil, just a slow, thick bubble, because you have to thicken that chickpea flour and the agar and get it all nice and heated. And then we pour it into a baking dish. So you want to stir it, whisk it through as it's going. I'll bring the saucepan pan back and forth so I don't have to move the camera. So you get it over the heat, get it whisking, and then allow it to thicken. And when it starts to thicken, then swap out the whisk for a spatula, because at some point that whisk just gets, it's useless. It's too thick to move it through. Okay, so I'm going to step back and forth a couple of times. And once it starts to thicken up a bit, I'll bring it over. And then you want a baking dish ready. So here is this is like an 8x8 dish. Basically what you would use for brownies, like a square pan. And I always put a slip of parchment on the bottom. And that way when it's done, you can lift it out like so. Boop. It does help to avoid just a little oil on the inside of the pan. It's a negligible amount, guys. It's not going to hurt to avoid a little bit of oil around the pan. It helps the fries, the batter mixture to lift up without like pulling away and tearing around the edges. And you're like literally using maybe less than half a teaspoon of oil and wiping it around. So it's okay. It's okay. I did the diabetes recipes for Dr. Barnard. All those recipes are oil-free and for diabetes reversal. And in that book, I also instructed to use a little oil on the bottom of the pan, and it was okay. All right. So I just want to put that out there because I know people get really nervous about that and sometimes shout at me. Sometimes shout at me about that. Okay. And then you have the parchment in it, and then it's really easy to lift it out. I'm just going to check some comments and questions. So many people tuning in from YouTube. Awesome. Lovely, lovely. Hello, Jane. Nice to see you. She saw the midday squares at the health food store. Yes, I'm out. I've got to get some more. Montreal, Scotland. Cool. Montreal. Lots of people in Canada watching today. Thank you, Lydia. I'm glad you love Kind Kitchen. And you know what, guys? I did put the link on Amazon there because it's down to $16 on Amazon, which is a really good price. So if you've been looking at it, that's a good time to buy it. Nancy, I didn't know you were in. Oh, I thought you said Vancouver. Where is Vaudreuil? Where is that? And just looking, Winnipeg. Nice to have everyone here. Regaud in the mountain. All these places are new to me, so share with me where they are. Ontario. Nice. My besties in Ontario. Australia. How cool. Awesome. I understand that I pronounce Burville incorrectly, and I have friends from Australia here in Canada. It's actually the person that I've had on video to talk about O Cosmetics, because that's an Australian brand. Do you know of O Cosmetics there? Clark, do you know O Cosmetics? Anyhow, she tells me it's Breville. I'm very incorrect in my pronunciation, but I'm so trained saying, I've like really gotten that in my brain that it's Breville. That's what I keep pronouncing. All right, I'm talking away, so I'm going to bring this over and show you. So I should have been at the stove stirring, but we're going to work through it. It's okay. So it starts to thicken. Can you see that? It starts to thicken. By the way, never taste the batter of raw chickpea flour. When you use raw chickpea flour in muffins or anything, never taste it, or raw, like any lentil flour. It's just, or legume flour, because you can use red lentil flour and things too. It's disgusting, tastes awful, and you will think you have ruined your muffins if you've used it in muffins. It has to be cooked, and also can make you feel kind of sick if you eat too much of it raw. So you can see it's thickening. We'll get it back on. And the first batch that I did that are in the oven, I didn't do the chipotle. Instead, I just made them kind of cheesy with nutritional yeast, and I added some onion salt too, which I got at Trader Joe's, and it's just kind of nice, adds a hint of onion flavor and the salt, right? So I don't find you need a lot of salt in these. What I prefer to do is put salt on the baking sheet so that it picks up salt on the outside of the chickpea fries and gives you that like pop of coarse salt, which is really nice. But I do find if you use too much salt, it's just overpowering. And I don't know if it's the chickpea flour itself has a certain amount of umami and it doesn't need too much salt. So I'll just pass that along. Here we go, starting to thicken. Bring this over again. and then finish it off. All right, so you can see now it's much, much thicker. See that? It's coming together almost like an oatmeal, right? A thick, thick porridge. Okay, so I'm going to let it go a bit more. And then we swap to a spatula. Okay, just finishing it off. I didn't put the chipotle in it. Guys, I am all over the place today. So I'll do that when I get back here now. So I'm removing the whisk because at this point it's very thick on the whisk and it becomes difficult to whisk. And now I'm just continuing to stir it through. Here it is. See, it's much thicker. I'm going to let it go just a bit more and now add the chipotle. You don't have to measure this. You can just kind of, add to taste. I gave it like 3 or 4 splashes. I want it flavorful, but not too hot. And that's what I find chipotle hot sauce is really nice. You can add that smoky intensity of heat without too much spicy heat. But if you love hot sauce, you can add it. Though I think it's nicer to have the hot sauce in a dipping sauce with these, right? And have the fries themselves not be too hot and then have the dipping sauce have some heat if you want. Okay, almost there. All right, we are good to go. All right, it's not, I kind of stand corrected. You don't really get a slow bubble on it. You can if you let it sit long enough in one place, but I'm continually whisking this, so I don't really see many bubbles, even a slow bubble form, but it becomes quite thick so that when you scrape the bottom of the pan, see that? You get a clean line like that. It doesn't just fill up again with the mixture. And then it's nice and thick and ready, okay? So that's the consistency you're looking for. It's like a really thick porridge or oatmeal. You can wipe the bottom of the pan like that. And then we just pour it right into the prepared pan. Whoops. I've got my dishwasher beeping at me. All the appliances now beep, right? It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like when you pay at the grocery store somewhere, and if you don't take out your card right away, it beeps at you. I find it a bit aggressive. Like it's literally been a second and it starts beeping at you to remove the card. It's kind of rude. Okay. And now, like most stores, you have to pack your own groceries. And so you're packing your groceries and then the thing's beeping at you and it's like, okay. And there's people behind you. It's all a bit much. Okay. So now we're just spreading that through and try to make it as even as you can. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but you do your best to kind of even it out. Almost always I have it way much thicker on one side than the other. And then when I'm cutting them, I realize that like one side is quite shallow compared to the other. But you just kind of, do your best to even it out. You could clean your spatula like so, and then like fully clean it, and then have a little bit of water on it to help smooth it out. So to help smooth it out on the top so that you get a cleaner, a cleaner edge, you have to clean it a couple of times. So I'm not fussy with it because you know what? Guess what? You know what I said. Come on, guys, chime in. Because guess what? Someone going to say it for me? We don't need to be fussy about it because guess what? Martha's not coming, right? It's just us and our family usually. And they just want it to taste good and fill their bellies. So if it doesn't look perfect, it's okay. So that is your mixture. This has to go into the fridge for like a half hour, okay? It has to be fully set to slice. Today I cheated a little bit because I didn't have much time. So I put it in the freezer for a little while to kind of expedite that cooling and then slice them. And they were still a little soft set when I sliced them. So you'll see that when I pull them out now that they're not as a clean cut with the fries because they were cut on a little softer set. They weren't completely set when I sliced them, but it's okay. They still look yummy and they kind of look rustic and fun. So this goes into the fridge. I'm just going to put it aside for now. Sets for a half hour. Then you take it out, lift it out, put it on a cutting board with the parchment underneath. That's fine. And then you slice into little fries. You can slice it halfway and then make fries. So you can make them as thin or thick as you like. I think they look a little nicer thin. So when we did them for the cookbook, my photographer first cut them and she made them a little thick. And I said, they look great, but I kind of want them to look a bit thinner for the book. So then she did a reshoot, making them look more like, say, shoestring fries almost. But it's really up to you how thick you want to cut them. And if they're thicker, they will take a little more time to bake, okay? So I'm going to show you the fries. So these are great, again, for anybody that maybe has a nightshade allergy and can't have potato fries and maybe have had enough of sweet potato fries, or you can't have polenta fries like I can't and you want something different. So there we have some nice little, look at those guys. Aren't they fun? Chickpea fries. So these ones I did with the onion salt and the nooch. And I put a little turmeric in those too, just to kind of give it like a little bit of color, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to show you a couple that right here. Here we go. See, this one was a bit soft set when I tried to cut it, and you can see that it's split when I cut it. So it's not a big deal, but they also are not fully set on the bottom, as you can see. Whereas I did get a few that cut really, really nicely and look pretty much like little fries, right? Yeah. So they don't have the color of traditional fries, but you don't want them to. You don't need them to. And they smell good. And they could be. I always do those weird things at the table with the kids, right? Okay. And now that I've manhandled them all, you have to have some dippers for this, okay? So the traditional or sort of basic ones without the spice, I have a chipotle mayo in my Plant Powered Snacks ebook that is divine. It's delicious and it is oil-free. So almost lost my voice saying that. I was so excited. I haven't made it today because I was up this morning, had an appointment, got home, just had to get sorted, get the video together. But my next video, I will do that chipotle mayo for you, okay? And you can use that for the polenta fries, for the chickpea fries, any old fries, sweet potato fries, home fries, whatever you want, okay? So that's it. I hope you guys try them out. And you can see some here are like little different sizes, right? But they're delicious. Look at that. Little chickpea fries. And they're also pretty high protein, right? So anybody who wants to add more high protein sides or just foods into their diet and you want some options, this is a nice way to do it. That's not just having like a bean salad or a bean burger. It's a different way of using legumes. I mean, look at that guy. How yummy and delicious and fun is that? Look. Woohoo. Okay, I've touched all of them now. I'm sure my family will love that I've manhandled them and put them up to my mouth. So we have a giveaway for Dreena's Kind Kitchen or Plant Powered Families. If you already have Dreena's Kind Kitchen, then you have to pop to my last video to see who Dreena's Kind Kitchen or what just happened there? Oh, I was live on my own video. Oh, that was wild. Okay, I was like, what's going on there? So guys, I just want to see the name of the person that I just freaked myself out completely. Like, why am I getting my own voice back at me? So I did draw the winner for the on my last video, and I want to get that name for you. Delicious, fabulous. And it's talking to me again. I'm so tech savvy, guys, aren't I? But you know, I don't have an assistant kind of jumping in and like helping me with this. So I'm just running on my own. Okay, so I'm just looking for the name that I drew. Here it is. So last week's winner is Bougie Knits. So that's obviously a bit of an avatar name, Bougie Knits. So you won a copy, and just email me. I replied to your comment on YouTube. This is the kind of day it is today for me. I'm telling you. I did reply to your comment. So just email me and I'll get your mailing address and get a copy of Dreena's Kind Kitchen out to you. And so for this week's entry, after YouTube, remember on YouTube, comment after the video is done, not in the chat here, so that I can get your comment for the draw. And let's see, have you made chickpea fries? Let's keep it real easy. Yes or no? Are you going to try these out? Oh, I should read out the recipe to you. So let's do that too. And if there's anything else you want to share, go ahead. If you found me a job in Hawaii, you can mention that too. If anyone has found me a job in Hawaii or Arizona, anywhere warm where it's not damp and cold like it is here most of the year, hook me up. You can leave that comment on YouTube and I'll be quite happy. Guess who might win the book that week? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so it's a cup of chickpea flour. And you could use red lentil flour as well if you prefer. 2 cups of water, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I used like 3, but it's okay. Half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 to a half teaspoon of turmeric, optional, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon rounded of sea salt, half teaspoon agar, optional. And then I really didn't use this much. About 1 to 2 teaspoons of chipotle hot sauce. I maybe used like 3/4 teaspoon. And oh, I didn't add this. Just a touch of maple syrup. It was a half teaspoon. And it's just kind of to balance the smoky spices. It just adds a little something in there. That's nice. But obviously I didn't add it. And then you bring it up to that really thick porridge-like consistency. Get it into a baking dish. Chill it for about a half hour till it's completely set. And when it's chilled, it's best, right? Not just warm, but chilled through. And then you bake it for 50 for about 23 to 25 minutes, but you need to look at them and move them around so the outside ones don't get all burned, right? So I was getting ready for the video and just kind of like left them for a while, and a couple got a little over browned on the edges. So you just kind of want to work them through the pan so that they're evenly cooked and browned. And I think that's it. And I will come back with the chipotle mayo very soon. And if you have any questions after, just chime in and let me know. And I did put in the description the cookbook if you want to check it out on Amazon. And what's the other thing? Oh, the chickpea flour on Amazon. So you can also check that out too. Okay, guys, I think that's it. And okay, yeah, I think I covered that. So I'll be back with a video soon. Have a good weekend. Okay, love to. Bye.